let me, in the broadest possible terms, try to summarize what the fuck is happening with this shit. Because people are getting mad at me for even talking about it. They're saying Josh wants to desperately insert himself into the Eric July shit. Eric July is a bystander to me. I don't care about comic books. I don't care about anime. I don't care about black people. Eric July does not register on my radar of injustices. What I care about is seeing e-celebrities in my sphere, people who I've known, completely burn out and destroy themselves talking about this guy. And I have desperately tried to understand the perspective and what's happening here. But to summarize, Dick at some point decided that he is anti-woke. That's like his whole brand now, is that he's anti the people. He's anti like the Black Rifle Coffee type of anti-woke, where it's like, let's create a parallel economy where conservatives, like, if you haven't heard the term before, the idea of a parallel economy is that we're just, you know, everything is so paused now. We're going to make conservative brands, small business brands, and we're going to build our own ecosystem, a microcosm of based conservative things inside of the economy, and that'll just be what they call the parallel ecosystem. He's very against that, and I don't really know why. It seems like something that would be a natural ally for Dick, because he would be a part. Like, you're doing a podcast where you're talking about dumb shits in the real world. How do you not? It's like free money. But I think that what happened is Dick at some point was not allowed to participate in the parallel economy. You heard it when he was talking about his pitch. He said, I don't want to, don't make sure you don't refer to me as Dick Masterson. Call me Dax Herrera, because I don't want the Hollywood executive to look up what Dick Masterson's been up to. Because I assume that when you search Dick Masterson, you find a bunch of shit about Lolicon and cuties and Digibro being a pedophile and Vito being a pedophile. And that doesn't do much for your prospects. And it makes sense when you consider what the parallel economy is and how, like, pedo sensitive comparatively to like the mass market is to like creepy weirdos. It would make sense that the parallel economy people would reject Dick and say, we don't want to support you because you're a creepy weirdo and all your friends are creepier weirdos, and, you know, where there's smoke there's fire, and go fuck yourself. And he saw that, and he saw being rejected by those people and thought, well, fuck it, I'm going to try and disrupt your thing because I'm not invited to it. That seems like a very Dick thing to do. And Eric July, for whatever reason, became a target of his obsession, and he has been devoted to try, because I think what happened is that he went on Twitter and he shit up about this guy. He just started talking about him, and then a lot of people who are like defensive of Ripa and his comic started shitting on Dick. And when he started getting attention, you thought, ho, I have found black gold here. I have struck attention on Twitter, the most valuable currency in the entire world, to an LA-based comedian. I'm going to try and exploit this however I can. As my boy Nick Ricada says,
again, my Twitter is monetized, and I am farming engagement on it to get free money.
So Ricada's cope that he spends so much time on Twitter is that he gets paid for it, and I think Dick's cope is the same, because to his credit, his Patreon has stopped nosediving. It's gone back up for the first time in years. His biggest problem in the universe, Patreon, has also gone up. So combined, he's making $25,000 a month, if those numbers are to be trusted, after pissing off the Rippaverse people. So he is successfully farming attention and converting that into income. And that is the only possible explanation for his obsession with this guy, because his current gripe is that Ripa ripped off a charity. There was okay, again, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed anymore, but I tried to ask for some clarification, and I spoke to a lawyer about this, a lawyer who is familiar with incorporating charities and nonprofit law, about what I assume to be the situation. And what I've been informed to be the situation is that Eric July sold his comic books for $35. Which is apparently a lot for a comic book. When it's an independent publisher and you're trying to support the parallel economy, sure, why not pay a little bit more? Ripa wanted to support a comic book charity that gave comic books to, I believe, the purpose of the charity was that they took comic books and they gave them out to children in hospitals. So kids are in sick beds, they need entertainment. So here's a comic book And that's the purpose of the nonprofit. Ripa wanted to support this charity, and he wanted to get free advertising, which is why any company in the world that supports a charity supports it to get free advertising and get their name out there and sell comic books, right? That's any company. Doesn't matter what the product is, they're out there to promote themselves and also do a charitable cause. So it's like, it's free advertising, it's a tax write-off. That's the point of it. So he does it. He sells his comic book for $17. And if you buy multiples, it's cheaper per book. So if you buy 2 comic books, it's $13 at the discount donation nonprofit rate. Dick alleges that this is fraud. There was apparently, because you could potentially order more comic books and get a bulk discount, that means that there is still a profit margin in donating those in the donated comic books that went to Ripa. So he's saying that because you could buy multiple comic books and reduce the profit margin of the seller, that therefore Ripa was making money off proceeds that should be going to the nonprofit. I don't, number one, in the literal definition of fraud, that's not true. That is not actually fraud. As far as taxes go, there are some caveats to making money off a profitable thing. You have to be careful with that. And as far as a moral thing goes, you know for a fact Dick Masterson does not care about the ethics of anything. Dick Masterson, Dax Herrera, Juju the Cow, would literally sell your child to be raped to death by Harvey Weinstein if it meant the biggest problem in the universe would be a TV show, and he could say that he got one TV show into production, even for one episode. Not even one season, just one episode. He would sell children to Harvey Weinstein to be raped to death on Epstein Island if it would get his TV show into production for the bragging right alone. So the idea that he is ethically concerned about business practices is ludicrous. It's on its face is patently false, and he's admitted to this. He's there's a quote where in his video where he just, like in the Ripa video where he's talking about Dick for the first time, there's a quote from Dick where he just says, I'm just here to be a psycho, like literally I'm just here to be a psychopath. The fact that I can do it while pretending to care about charity is just icing on the cake or something. So it's not only is it obviously false, it's like he's literally said that it's false. So the only thing that you could say is that he's doing it for attention, which I mean is on brand for him. So the correct answer would be to simply ignore him.